Okay. Good day, and welcome to the One Piece Forum YouTube channel. I'm Marco,
I'm Jawa.
and today we have a treat for you guys. The One Piece Forum is a notorious place for theorists from all over the internet to come and share their ideas with us. And Jawa and myself, after days, even weeks, of vigorous selection, have found you the best of the One Piece Forum theories.
Yeah, I mean these theories are gonna make you look at One Piece in like a completely different. Like they changed like everything that I expected, everything I'd assumed, almost everything at least. Can't give them too much credit, but they are honestly some of the most influential theories on probably the whole internet, not just our forum. So it's a real treat for you guys, and it took a lot of careful planning.
Okay, so first up, we have. It's more of a kind of a story-based theory here. It's relating to the Wano Kuni arc and the eventual fight with Kaido, and Sanji and Zoro's technique to kill Kaido.
Yeah, this one's really it's different, is what I'm gonna say. So it incorporates elements of some other series that are famous, specifically Dragon Ball Z. It's written in the form of like a script, so you got a bit of a dialogue, and it's Sanji. It's a back and forth between Sanji. It's very creatively written, so it's a good read. I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. So it's just the final how they're gonna take him down.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a little bit of Boku no Pico in there towards the end.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just like a hint, but not too much. Not too much. If you put too much in, the theory gets too intense. But I mean, Zongji, as the fusion is called, is powerful in ways that One Piece characters aren't normally powerful.
Yeah.
In that he is the ugliest creature in the world. And yeah, he's ugly enough to kill Kaido.
Yeah. We've got a picture for you. Actually, it's very professionally drawn, which you'll be seeing soon. Now I should mention. It incorporates something never before seen in Dragon Ball Z, in One Piece, and that is fusion. As you just alluded to, the fusion is called Zongji. Very very creatively written, as opposed to Sanro. So look, he's a formidable character. He fights in 100 different ways in the space of a single second. So definitely someone to be reckoned with. Someone definitely that Kaido should fear.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the fusion technique itself, it's one that Sanji learned during the time skip with the Okama, because we haven't seen as of yet what he's really learned in those 2 years. So fusion, it's not ruled out, is it? Not at all. Well, I mean, what can I say? Ivankov could well be 2 people, could be 3.
Yeah, I mean, true. Like, perhaps it's not so much of a bipolar thing, as he changes his sex. It's the same guy, and in the same way that I guess neither Zoro nor Sanji change as Zongji. They're still just as powerful as they were before, but it's like they're more powerful together in a way that can only be described as fusion.
This was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic theory. Are we ready to move on? The next.
Yeah, okay, we're not going to spoil how it ends for you, because I think that'd do the theory injustice. We're going to leave a link down the bottom, so I definitely think you should check it out. It'll definitely probably overturn your presumptions about the Kaido, the Wano arc. So, yeah, definitely it's good to be challenged, I think. It's very important. So, definitely check it out. Alright, so we'll go on to our next one, which is... Alright, this one's Plastic Man. So, I'm gonna let Marco here give a bit of a background on our theorist.
Okay, so... It's difficult, man, because there are so many words we could use to describe this man.
Yeah. Genius is the first one that comes to mind, yeah?
Yeah, genius. We'll stretch intelligent out and put him in the upper echelons of intelligence. Because he's surely there. He's visionary. He's almost, dare I say, a prophet.
I think definitely he's shown intellect at that level. I mean, he's a pioneer, if nothing else, of a new kind of theory.
I mean, Nostradamus doesn't have shit on this boy.
Yeah.
Like, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So, you guys, it's time to tell you about Luffy's awakening form. Okay.
So, with the Plastic Man, it's important to remember a few things.
With Plastic Man being the name of his awakening form.
Yep.
Yeah, well, just clear that up.
Well, the theory, it starts off very, nice and straightforward. So, the idea is that back in, Punk Hazard, when Luffy used the Gum Gum UFO, or UFO, how he said it, he foreshadowed, essentially, what is this Plastic Man awakening. Yeah. And the prelude to the Plastic Man, essentially, is a bubblegum-type Logia fruit. Mm-hmm. Now, this is very sort of, it's very well fleshed out, is the best I can say, but obviously it's received a lot of scrutiny, and you can, I don't know, it puts you on either side of the fence. There's no neutrality when it comes to this kind of theory. So essentially, he turns into a bubblegum theory, and of course the reason for this is because in Dexter's laboratory, Dexter once used the bubblegum to become a rubber man.
Yeah, so I mean, it would make sense if Luffy could make his body into a Logia type just like that, because One Piece it draws inspiration from Dexter's laboratory quite a lot, quite heavily.
Undoubtedly.
I mean, you could even say Dexter's glasses were the inspiration for Kobe's early appearance.
That's true. Actually, the whole figure. Basically, if you give Kobe a pointy haircut and orange hair, he is Dexter. So, clearly.
Exactly. So, do you want to get into the physiology?
Yeah, sure. So the theorist has called it malleable physiology, which, malleable speaks for itself. So he can stretch his limbs and body to superhuman lengths and sizes. So there's been a lot of speculation about a full giant awakening.
Yeah.
And this basically adds on to that. So he's saying it's not so much him turning into a giant in the conventional sense, but because of his bubblegum-like properties, which is obviously stretchier than typical rubber, he can turn into a full giant. So that gives him the capacity to do so. So the theorist has listed a few morphs. So I'll just list them, and you can have a look at them, at your own leisure. So there's size alteration, obviously, as I just said, the gianting and the shrinking. He can shapeshift. So this is interesting. He can turn into different objects, and even at one point, I think the theorist mentioned he can look like other people. So I mean, I'm sure we're going to be seeing the Gum Gum table in the next few next few points. So he can also regenerate. He's really fast, really strong. He's got this chameleon-like ability, which lets him change color, which I like. Very great. I like it too. And of course, invulnerability, which give or take, basically the same. So you want to add on to the rest?
I mean, have you ever fully destroyed a piece of bubblegum? I don't think so.
It's impossible.
No, you can't. I mean, I liked the ultrasonic detection.
Yes.
Aspect, where basically, when an ultrasonic frequency is triggered, such as a bat or a dog whistle, his body will start to ripple, and given that we're coming up against a group known as the Beast Pirates,
surely there's going to be a bat.
I need not go any further.
Fair enough. Honestly, though, I just the point on this. I think I think it can be perceived more as a weakness than a strength, because if his body ripples at an ultrasonic sound, then all you need to do is play ultrasonic sound, have him just perpetually rippling, like blah, 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 blah. And then you win. He's just completely paralyzed.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, nobody's gonna tell Luffy's opponents what his weaknesses are.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you can only really find out by chance.
True.
Because which Yonko are walking around with dog whistles on their phones, Yeah,
exactly. Like, all they really need to do is use the Beast Pirates Ultra move, which I believe will be Orchestra. And that way, all sound wavelengths will be he'll be exposed to all of them. Yeah, all wavelengths of sound, so that'll really test his limits. But obviously no power is without its disadvantages. So most of these disadvantages that Theorist has presented are to do with his use of it, so his mastery of it, not so much it itself. So for example, his first disadvantage is that when he initially activates it, he can only turn into objects. So, I mean, he can turn into a chair on them, which I'm sure will be very effective. Not really able to be targeted. He can obviously, he did mention that the ultrasonic detection has a weakness, so that's nice. He's one step ahead of us there. Of course, it'll be for 10 or 15 minutes. You have to be very precise with these numbers. The theorist is always very clear with his calculations. His values are never off point. I believe he has a 95% accuracy.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a mathematician.
Yeah.
Purely.
When he changes into another person, it will be disadvantages that he is not able to change his voice, so he can be ousted if he ever attempts to use camouflage or disguise. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up that theory.
That's good. And then, oh boy, are you guys in for a treat? Because the Gomu Gomu no Prophet has further extended his research into Luffy's Devil Fruit. And he's foreseen Luffy's 5th gear and his final form.
Alright, well guys, it's time to tell you about Luffy's 5th gear or final form.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Known as the Boogeyman. Yeah. Which, if you don't know yet, will be released on Raftel for the very first time against Blackbeard, because Blackbeard will kill Jinbei.
Yep.
Of course.
A bit of a disclaimer though, sorry, go. No, okay, sorry. A bit of a disclaimer, when it's first introduced, because obviously he's planned for this, so he knows what's going to happen, theory-wise. So, when it's first introduced, it's not going to be called Boogeyman, it's going to be called Nightmare or Horror Luffy, but the name will change into Boogeyman, because obviously a name like Boogeyman is far superior to a name like Nightmare Luffy, so, they'll definitely change it. So, when it first appears and it's called Nightmare Luffy and you guys all point the finger and say, ha, your theory was wrong, it's just a bit of a disclaimer. You know in advance that it's actually not the case.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's good. So that's important as we go into the theory. So, into the mechanisms. It needs 1,000 times more blood pump and 2 times more air blow.
Yeah, as we said, very clear with his calculations. Not a single number, like, he's very specific. He'll even put like 1,000.1 if it was required. So the 1,000, while it sounds like a rounded number, is actually quite precise.
No, it's quite, and it's going to affect various systems in his body, obviously. Like the neural system, we got the heart and vessel system, we got the muscle and bone system, the hormonal system, in case he's at that point of the month. The sensory systems, so heightened senses. That's always a good thing for a fighter to have.
Basically Daredevil, but he can see.
And
I'll take care of the abilities. So what it actually is because we've told you what it affects. We haven't actually told you what it does. So what it does is it allows him to access this range of forms rather. So they're Phantom, Frankenstein, Phoenix, and then the standard Nightmare or Horror, Luffy. So just a bit of a quick summary of all the forms. So in Phantom form, he's able to move and punch more faster, and in a lethal way, as a ghost. There's also a Frankenstein form. So Frankenstein form, obviously it's electricity because Frankenstein was brought to life with an electric shock. Phoenixes, obviously representing birds of hell, in pretty much every portrayal. For example, Marco from Hell, clearly. So he can heat his body, and again, these calculations are very precise, to 500 or 1,000 degrees Celsius. And then, as I said before, there's the standard Nightmare Horror Luffy, so not precisely a form, just the regular Gear 5th, where he's able to punch in, he's got, Jet Nightmare Pistol and Jet Horror Gatling and so forth. So, Oars! Sorry, just had to say that.
Yeah. So, do you want me to take the Oars section of the theory?
Yes.
So, with Gear 4th, Luffy can retract his arm like a spring. as we saw in the fight with Doflamingo. But what's going on with Gear 5th? So, we all know that Oz is the biggest giant in the whole history. And maybe, Luffy's special powers can be based off Oz, because Luffy can change the size of his limbs or even his entire self, just like with his Plastic Man awakening, without any air blow. 0 air blow.
Yeah, no air blow at all. Sorry.
He only needs willpower to make it bigger. And I mean, for the sake of the weaker viewers amongst you, we can go back over the Plastic Man awakening, which essentially is a bubblegum Logia that permits you to transform your limbs into whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, you can make a sword, you could make a mace, you could...
So forth.
I could go on. There's just so much potential.
I hope we one day see a villain who wields a so forth, because I reckon that'd be a really cool weapon. Anyway, so we have disadvantages again. This theorist is very thorough. He likes to cover his all angles. So he goes by listing the weaknesses of the other gears before trying to make it like a logical progression to Gear 5th. So Gear 2nd was Exhaustion, Gear 3rd was Shrinkage, Gear 4th was Marasmus, or Loss of Haki for 10 mins. So Gear 5th, naturally, is Coma or Sudden Death. So I mean, because obviously Coma or Sudden Death are the results of Gear 5th, you can understand, of course, that they're not going to... This theorist is also very adamant that there's not going to be a Gear 6th or a reverse gear, as some people like to use if they base gears off cars. So the first use of it, again, very precisely calculated, is going to send Luffy into a coma for 22 hours after he kills, not defeats, kills Blackbeard. And of course, the title of that episode, logically, is going to be The Beginning of a Nightmare, Horror on the Island of the Glorious Treasure. But, of course, he can acquire that in the second time skip.
Yeah. What more can we say?
Not much. I think this is a pretty thorough theory. Very imaginative, very creative, very likely.
Yeah. We told him what we thought, and we could not sing his praises more highly.
Yeah. And any scrutiny that came his way, he just knocked it aside, like out of the park, home run, killed it. It's impeccable. It's just amazing what this guy does.
He's the man we all wish to be.
There it is. All right, so we'll move on to the next one, which is I'll let you say it because I know you like this one.
Okay, this is my favorite theory on the entire forum, and it is based around the idea of the 10th straw hat, and it's a bit left field. We've made reference to it very subtly at the end of a previous video, but Hoodie Jones as the 10th straw hat pirate.
Yep.
I know that those of you sat in front of your computers are saying, what the hell? It's Jinbei. But Jinbei, Jinbei won't join for whatever reason. And instead, he'll tell Hoodie to join, and he'll tell the Straw Hats to accept Hoodie, to which Luffy will say, okay. Now, do you remember what happened to Hoodie Jones at the end of Fishman Island?
Yes, he got very old due to the energy swords.
Yeah. So, how are we going to reverse that? The answers to this lie with a Yonko that we're currently seeing a lot in the manga. The Yonko Big Mom, who, with her witch powers, will reverse the effects of aging, bringing him back into that great white shark peak. The peak of his powers.
Yep.
And, I mean, you know, because they were on other sides, Luffy's like, he's a bit of a dick. You know?
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna be happy about it. They're not gonna say, oh, yeah, come along. It'll be through Jinbei's persuasion and through a must. To quote the theorist exactly, a must. We don't have any more details on the must yet, unfortunately.
Yep.
But this must will be so huge, so epic in proportion, that they'll have to take him on board.
Yeah. I can't I can definitely see this happening. I mean, Hody Jones is the 9th Nakama. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
10th? 10th. Yes, 10th.
Yeah.
I think I have a bit of a miscalculation there from the theorist, but that's okay. Happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Anyway, so essentially what it is obviously, okay, so the theorist is taking into account, of course, that Hody's a bad guy. You know, he's really old. Pretty much all the odds are stacked against him. Clearly there are better other contenders. There's Jimbei, there's even Carrot, there's Pedro, some people are saying Caesar as well. Caesar's a pretty popular one. But no, Hody can surpass all of them. He's actually batted aside every other contender. Not all the ones we've listed, I don't think, but he's listed aside the major ones. Pushed aside them.
Yep.
And he said, no, Jimbei is going to be the one, as you said, Jimbei is going to be the one who pushes for Hody to join. It's the fact that he's a bad guy is going to be reversed because it's a must, as you said. It's a force of necessity. It's not a desire that they have.
Yeah.
And of course, the oldness, because we've seen Big Mom who can take lifespans, surely she can give lifespans equally. So of course, that's just going to be nice and easy to reverse on her part. So I mean, it all adds up very nicely. But I think the important thing to know, though, is that Hody Jones is going to be the next Nakama.
Yeah, he's a great character.
Yeah.
We've seen his childhood. It's got some image based off Michael Jackson post skin paling. He's based off a great white shark. And who doesn't love a great white shark?
True, they're like an endangered species now, I believe. Like,
yeah.
Oda, I'm sure, because Oda likes his activism, you know, with transgender rights and the Okama. He's going to definitely go for animal rights in the form of the endangered great white shark. I mean, how can he not?
Who doesn't want a Nakama with snappy teeth?
Yeah, I know. One might have said Arlong, but no, they're definitely
No, I mean, we already don't like Arlong. That's the thing. I think Hody's more redeemable.
True, definitely.
Arlong's had two like bad parts in his story.
Yeah, he's been around a long time.
I mean, a certain somebody on the forum, or certain somebodies on the forum, have taken this theory to the next level. Have you heard of the Straw Hat Zoo theory?
I have heard of the Straw Hat Zoo theory, and I have to say,
So it comes up,
as absurd as it sounds, it's beautiful. It accounts for everything, and like that's not an exaggeration. It's everything. So I'm just going to let you go ahead and explain it because he's being very modest, but it is after all his theory.
Yeah. So starting with the idea that Hody is a great white shark, majestic creature. We have some more subtle hints throughout the series of potential Straw Hat members. The first one, we have Sengoku, obviously. He's got the hat with the seagull on it. And if that's not like an animal red flag, I don't know what is. We've got, so the idea, we have a great white shark, we have a guy with a seagull on his hat. What happens? We start a zoo. I mean, you've got some prerequisites. You've got Chopper the reindeer. Got Monkey D. Luffy. Got Usopp and his weapon Kabuto, which is a type of beetle. We've got. I mean, then the rest of these are more kind of subtle foreshadowings for this idea. So, Nami, we all know, has a very, very strong liking for money. And what animal likes money?
A crow. Yeah. Of course.
Crow, exactly. Yeah. And this bit of the theory, it concerns Mr. Jawahib's favourite character, Frankie.
Yes. I haven't actually revealed this. He's my favourite character.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Do you remember his hairstyle from the Zoo arc?
Yes, I believe it was a giant whale that resembled the whale tree, I believe, on Zoo.
Yeah. I don't need to say any more there.
I'm speechless. My jaws just dropped.
But it's just a sign. It's clearly a sign. And going in and doing more research into the animal kingdom, there is this one particular breed of mouse, which is particularly randy. And which member of the Straw Hats is constantly
charged
thinking with his bits? Yeah.
I have a feeling it's Zongji. And he's the mouse.
Yeah.
What about
Yes.
Zoro? Surely there's no animal comparison for him.
I mean, he's an animal all by himself.
I can't even disagree.
Zoro fanboy, isn't he? As you know, I'm a huge Zoro fanboy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Love him to death.
Actually, I just realized, if you want a direct link to an animal, of course, the animal instinct is perfectly valid. But if you want a direct link, he sleeps a lot, doesn't he? What animal sleeps a lot? The sloth.
Sloth. Ooh.
Man, this theory is just showing me more and more about One Piece. It's just ridiculous. Robin. What about Robin? Okay. Well,
Robin.
Jinx.
She's a little bit quiet, isn't she?
Perhaps. Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Likes to read
Yeah.
in her corner.
Yeah. You know, just lurks about. Much like one's pet cat might do on a daily basis.
No, that's
Cat is
too
a very
much.
quiet animal.
That's true.
Nah, bro, I'm not.
And she's often associated with bad luck, isn't she? She's always, her little character
Yeah.
gimmick is always saying bad luck things, just like watching a black cat cross the road.
I hope you guys' pants are still on at home, because we got a whole lot more.
Yeah, surely.
So, Brook is a man with a lot of mystery. He returned from the dead. I'm going into a very in-depth research. There is a type of frog that dies in the winter when it hibernates, and it comes back to life in the spring. So
Brook is that frog.
Brook is the dead and then alive frog.
Okay. All right. So there's also the ships, Thousand Sunny,
No,
Going Merry. You've got Lion and your little lamb. Obviously the Minx, very explicit link. I don't know how you'd miss that. So, you know, with that in mind, I think one would be inclined to say, contrary to the Hody Funakama theory, if it's all animals, then surely Carrot would be the next to join. What do you think about that?
it's a conspiracy, man.
No.
It's a government
Surely
conspiracy.
not.
See, the thing about being a theorist and spotting foreshadows is if it's too obvious, it's not going to happen.
True.
And by giving us something that's already an animal, giving us an actual frickin' rabbit, that's too much. That's Oda pulling the wool over our eyes.
Okay, well then, if your zoo theory can't help us predict Carrot, who do you think? What's the alternative?
I mean, for a mink.
Yes.
For a mink, well, we know the Thousand Sunny has a lion figurehead.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you think of any lions or lion minks that have been heavily involved with the story?
Surely not.
Recently.
Pecons.
Peckhams. He's the human embodiment of the Thousand Sunny. And when you factor in his turtle devil fruit, that's two animals. That's two animals.
It's a lot of animals.
The misdirect from the lion, and he's the turtle for the zoo. Because what zoo is complete without a turtle?
That's true.
No.
Something I personally wouldn't have factored in. I mean, your theory is pretty comprehensive. Though I think the argument would come up, and I'm answering this prematurely because it hasn't come up. I'm bringing it up. That.
Yeah.
Well, but you just said Carrot, a mink, wasn't compatible because it was
Yeah.
too obvious. So why would Peckham's a mink be compatible? And I think the answer to that, of course, is in the dual animalistic nature of Peckham's, the lion and the turtle, of course. So
Exactly.
I'm very impressed.
We've covered all grounds.
Okay, well, so where does this theory bring us ultimately? So where are you going with it? So there's a zoo,
Okay.
but I mean clearly that's not like an actual zoo, or is it?
It's a collection of animal-based characters who will then, these animalistic properties will serve a purpose going forward into the theory. But let's first look at anagrams, because that's where the most subtle of all the hiding goes.
Fair enough. All right. Where do the
So-
anagrams take us?
We'll take Pirate King, Goldie Roger. If you rearrange the letters of his name, you get Le Rouge Dog.
Really?
Yeah, I kid you not. Le Rouge Dog. So Roger symbolizes a dog, and because Rouge and Rouge, as in Port Rouge,
No.
they sound pretty much the same. So there is the crux of the theory. Roger and Rouge will be coming back together.
That's
And
huge.
Going back to Hody, we mentioned his Michael Jackson kind of post whatever happened to him suddenly becoming a white man thing happened. So that's where we got the image base for Hody Jones there. But before all the becoming a white man happened. Even.
Yep.
And then there's a character from early on in the series who's based on post skin condition Michael Jackson. 1-2 Django.
Oh yeah.
If that rings any bells.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that you got that Michael Jackson connection there tells you, without doubt, that because we know Hody is coming back, Django, it doesn't even matter that he's in the Marines right now. He's going to quit. He's going to become a Straw Hat member because the crew doesn't have a hypnotist yet.
True. And I'm pretty sure Luffy said at the start he wanted a hypnotist.
He did.
Allegedly.
They went cook, musician, hypnotist.
So I just realized something, because this is obviously all about animals.
Yeah.
And recently we have been seeing a lot of reference to animals, especially in the form of Kaido and references to Kaido.
Yeah.
So how does Kaido tie into all this zoo stuff? So are you saying Kaido's going to join the crew, or what's going on?
Well, okay. So, Kaido is known by the epithet 100 Beast Kaido.
Of course.
And as a strong man, 100 Beast Kaido, the zookeeper of the Straw Hat Zoo. Are you with me?
Zookeeper. That's genius.
Yeah. So, have you seen the movie Life of Pi?
I have seen the movie Life of Pi.
The father of the protagonist is a zookeeper on a ship.
Yeah. What's the relevance?
I mean, it's just fact. It's just fact that just happened.
Okay.
And, and Life of Pi. There's connections there in the themes to Noah's Ark.
Oh yeah, of course. The host of animals and the Ark and the water and the storm. Yeah, of course.
And Noah was also technically a zookeeper. If you follow. Follow.
I'll take it. I can't disargue.
Who brought the big storm to Noah?
God.
So who caused the big storm? And who brought the Great Pirate Era to One Piece?
Roger.
Okay. Goldie Roger. LaRouge Dog.
Yes.
What's
I
dog
remember this.
backwards?
Oh my god. And on that bombshell.
We're done.
Oh my god.
We're done.
Bro. That was off its head. Alright, so we're going to leave a link to all these series for you to check out. I hope you enjoyed the video. Anything else you want to wrap up? Because you have the little thing at the end.
If you look for the Straw Hat Zoo theory, it ends off, and any potential questions you might have are answered within the last sort of paragraph.
Yeah. There are probably a few.
Which we discover One Piece. We discover what the One Piece is. I'm not going to spoiler it. I'm going to compel you to click the link to our forum, and you can see it for yourself there. That's all there is to it. We can't give you everything. We can't spoon feed you.
Fair enough. Alright, so remember to check out the other stuff on our channel. You've got Frankie and Mapache doing reviews, sometimes with fabulous guest speakers who won't be named. What else are we doing? I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
thanks for watching.
Everything.
Jawa out.
Marco's gone too.
Wow, what the heck? We couldn't do fusion that time.
It's because you're not a good kisser. Let's do it again, and I'll lead the kiss, and I'll show you how good I am.
Damn! I just realized what the Okama taught me. He said that the one who leads the kiss should do the kiss that fits and represents his character. Since I have a French theme, we should do the French kiss.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? You're enjoying kissing me. That's why you just said it after we had 2 kisses, huh?
Asshole, I felt I'm gonna die just to hold your hands.
Haha. Who's that Okama who taught you this weird jutsu?
His name is... His name is Bustin' Jeeva.